Welcome back, treasure hunters, to Secrets of US Coins, where every single episode brings you closer to the hidden fortunes sitting quietly in plain sight. What if I told you that inside your pocket change, in an old jar on your shelf, or even in a forgotten coin book, there could be a coin so rare, so powerful, so historically important, that its value could change your life overnight? Yes, friends, this is not fiction. This is not fantasy. This is the faithful truth of the world of rare US coins. Today, we are diving deep into the ultra-rare, most valuable wheat pennies and Washington quarter dollars that have shaken today's auction market with unimaginable prices. We're not just talking about coins that are worth a few hundred or a few thousand. We're talking about life-changing amounts, the kind of treasure that can make you feel like you're holding a piece of pure history wrapped in solid gold value. And I promise you this, by the end of this video, you'll realize why collectors across America and around the world are chasing these coins with fiery passion, why auctions go into bidding wars, and why holding one of these treasures is like holding a ticket to wealth itself. So stay with me till the very end, because the suspense, the shock, and the unbelievable truths are only going to grow bigger with every single coin we reveal. Coin number 1. The story of the 1944 wheat penny without mint mark is not just about a piece of copper, it's about America's resilience during one of the most critical times in human history. This coin was minted right after 1943, the year when steel pennies were produced to save copper for the war effort in World War II. But when 1944 came around, the US Mint returned to using copper and zinc, and what we got was one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1944 wheat penny. The coin carries no mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the heart of American coinage at the time. Its composition is mostly copper with a touch of zinc, and that alone tells the story of a nation balancing war, economy, and stability while still putting out coins that today are worth more than gold itself. Look closely at the obverse, and you see Abraham Lincoln's profile, a symbol of freedom and leadership, surrounded by the words, "In God we trust," a phrase that resonates so strongly during and after wartime America. On the reverse, the iconic wheat stalks stand proudly, framing the words 1 cent, a simple denomination back then, but today, this very coin has broken the barriers of ordinary value. Now, what makes this coin truly unique? It's not just its age or design, but its rarity in survival and condition. Millions were minted in 1944, but most circulated heavily, scratched, bent, or lost to time. Finding one in fine condition with a beautiful look, preserved with dignity, is nothing short of miraculous. Collectors across the world hunt specifically for coins like these because they represent not just history but scarcity, and scarcity in coin collecting always means skyrocketing demand. And this demand, friends, has exploded in today's auction market. The 1944 wheat penny without mint mark in fine condition has been recorded at staggering values that turn heads and drop jaws. Let me reveal the truth. Its current market value today is $145,000. Yes, you heard me right. $145,000 for a single 1 cent coin. This is not an exaggeration. This is the faithful truth of the coin world. Owning this penny is like holding a big treasure in your pocket, a piece of American history that collectors will fight over. And let me tell you, the price of this coin isn't stagnant. It's increasing day by day, with each auction pushing the bar higher and higher. If you hold on to one of these coins, you're not just a coin owner, you're sitting on a wealth generator that could transform into an even greater treasure tomorrow. Now, Here's a tip for collectors. When searching for the 1944 wheat penny without mint mark, always pay close attention to the details and condition. Even small differences in clarity, sharpness of Lincoln's features, and preservation of the wheat stalks on the back can add thousands of dollars in value. Look for originality. Avoid coins that have been cleaned or damaged. And remember, condition is king in the world of rare coins. In conclusion, the 1944 wheat penny without mint mark isn't just a coin. It's a faithful reminder of America's wartime resilience, a rare masterpiece of numismatic history, and a treasure chest disguised as a penny. If you're lucky enough to own one, you're not just a collector. You are the guardian of a rare treasure whose value keeps climbing to the skies. And friends, this is just coin number one. Stay with me, because the coins that follow are even more shocking, even more jaw-dropping, and even more powerful in today's treasure-filled auction world. Coin number two. As we move deeper into our journey of treasure-filled coins, we arrive at a piece that carries not just monetary weight, but a story woven into the very fabric of America's recovery, the 1946 wheat penny without mint mark. At first glance, you might think this is just another cent from the mid-1940s, but hidden within its design, its imperfections, and its survival lies a value that can shake any auction room to its core. The year 1946 was no ordinary year. America was stepping out from the shadows of World War II, a nation rebuilding, soldiers returning home, industries transitioning back to peacetime production. And in the middle of this historic moment, the U.S. Mint struck millions of wheat pennies, small copper coins that carried the spirit of victory, resilience, and the start of a new chapter. This particular coin, minted in Philadelphia with no mint mark, is composed of copper and zinc. But what sets it apart isn't just its composition, it's the story in its look. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's dignified portrait still stands strong, but in this coin, we notice unique black spotting across the surface. To an untrained eye, these might look like flaws, but to a serious collector, they add an authentic character that proves the coin's journey through decades of history. The very marks of age become badges of survival. Now let's talk about rarity and condition. Millions were produced in 1946, yes, but the vast majority were lost to circulation, worn down until Lincoln's features blurred into nothingness. Finding one in fine condition, where the design remains crisp and the coin still holds its original dignity, is not easy. But finding one with those natural black spots, spots that collectors often call age signatures, makes it stand out even more. It's this uniqueness that ignites competition in auctions, driving demand sky high. And let me tell you, the demand for this coin is booming like never before. Collectors are not just buying this penny, they are chasing it like hunters, chasing a once-in-a-lifetime prize. And here's the faithful truth that will leave you in shock. The 1946 wheat penny without mint mark, in fine condition, with its unique black spots, holds a current market value of $140,000 today. Yes, $140,000 for a penny that many people would overlook in their change jar. This is not imagination. This is not exaggeration. This is reality in today's auction market. If you are holding one, you are literally holding a big treasure in your pocket, a piece of American recovery history that has transformed into a priceless collector's gem. And the most powerful part? This coin's value is not standing still. It is rising day by day, climbing higher with every auction, every collector's battle, every new discovery that pulls another coin into the spotlight. If you own one, your best strategy might be patience, because waiting could mean unlocking an even greater fortune tomorrow. Now here's a tip for collectors. When searching for the 1946 wheat penny without mint mark, pay close attention to coins with natural toning and spotting. These features, when preserved naturally, often increase desirability because they show authenticity and originality. Avoid polished or cleaned coins, they lose their historic charm. Collectors want honest coins, coins that tell their age through their natural look, and that's exactly what black spots often provide. In conclusion, the 1946 wheat penny without mint mark is more than a coin. It's a time capsule of America's post-war strength, a treasure wrapped in copper, and a living proof that something as small as 1 cent can hold the power of wealth beyond imagination. Holding this coin is not just collecting, it's guarding a treasure that future generations will cherish, a coin that cements your place in the world of great collectors. And remember, friends, this is only coin number 2. We've already revealed life-changing values, but the coins still to come will only grow more shocking, more suspenseful, and more valuable. Stay with me, because what's ahead is even greater. Coin number 3. As we move deeper into our treasure hunt, we arrive at another extraordinary piece, one that looks simple on the surface, yet hides a fortune and a story so powerful it could leave you speechless. It is none other than the 1946 wheat penny without mint mark, this time in very fine condition with distinct black spotting on the obverse side. Now let's step back into history for a moment. The year 1946 was the dawn of a new America. The war was over, industries were shifting back to civilian life, and families were piecing together a nation determined to move forward. Out of this moment of rebirth came a flood of wheat pennies, struck in Philadelphia with no mint mark. But among those countless millions, only a select few survived the decades in very fine condition, carrying the scars and colors of time with them. This coin is composed of copper with traces of zinc, yet what makes it breathtaking isn't just its makeup, it's its look and preservation. On the obverse side, you can still see Abraham Lincoln's portrait sharp and proud, the lines of his coat and features bold against the coin's aged surface. But then your eyes catch the black spots. These aren't just random blemishes. They are signatures of age, natural markings that prove this coin has lived through history untouched, unaltered, and unapologetically original. For collectors, that combination, sharp details with authentic natural spotting, is priceless. Now, here's why this coin is such a rarity. Most 1946 wheat pennies were heavily circulated, rubbed down until their features disappeared, or altered by cleaning and polishing that stripped away their originality. But finding one in very fine condition, where Lincoln's profile remains clear, the wheat stalks, on the reverse, still sharp, and the coin's natural black spotting left intact, this is the kind of discovery that collectors dream of. And in today's market, that dream translates into unimaginable reality. The 1946 wheat penny without mint mark, in very fine condition, with obverse black spotting, is commanding a market value of $138,000 right now. Yes, you heard it, $138,000 for a coin that most people wouldn't glance at twice in their loose change. But this is not fiction. This is the faithful truth of coin collecting today. If you own one, you're not just a coin holder. You're sitting on a treasure chest disguised as a penny. The best part? This treasure is only getting more valuable with time. Collectors around the globe are waking up to the rarity of these unique condition coins, and each auction pushes the price higher. The market is alive, it's fierce, and it's only going to climb. Waiting just a few years could mean your $138,000 coin becomes worth even more, a living, growing fortune in the palm of your hand. Now here's a tip for collectors. Focus on condition grading. A fine coin can bring a high price, yes, but when you move into very fine condition, the jump in value is incredible. Learn to spot the sharpness of Lincoln's details, the clarity of the wheat stalks, and the preservation of surfaces. And when you see natural black spotting, don't dismiss it. In many cases, that spotting adds to the coin's authentic charm, proving its untouched originality. In conclusion, the 1946 wheat penny without mint mark, in very fine condition, is more than just a cent. It is a piece of American rebirth, a relic of post-war history, and a treasure that transforms into a life-changing fortune in today's auction houses. To hold this coin is to hold proof that something as small as 1 cent can be worth more than a chest of gold. And remember, this is only coin number 3. We still have 4 more rare coins to uncover, each one carrying even greater suspense, greater excitement, and values that will leave you stunned. The journey has just begun, and the treasures only get bigger from here. Coin number 4. Now, friends, as we journey further into this world of hidden treasures, we arrive at a coin that many collectors overlook until they realize the truth of its value. This is the 1957 wheat penny with the D-mint mark, a coin that at first glance may appear ordinary, but in reality, it is anything but ordinary. This coin has become a treasure hunter's dream, a copper relic that proves sometimes the most valuable fortunes are hidden in plain sight. The year 1957 marked the final chapter in the legendary wheat penny series. Soon after, the iconic Lincoln Memorial reverse would take over in 1959. But this coin, minted in Denver, Colorado, carries that historic wheat reverse design that had defined American pennies for half a century. Struck in copper and zinc, it features Abraham Lincoln's timeless portrait on the obverse, with the words, "In God we trust," and liberty standing bold as ever. Now, what makes this coin unique is its appearance and survival. This particular example is in circulated condition, meaning it saw life in the hands of Americans, moving through pockets, wallets, and change jars of everyday people. And yet, despite circulation, it still carries a beautiful look, enhanced by its natural brown spotting. These spots tell a story. They are the signatures of time, marks that prove this coin is authentic, original, and untouched by modern cleaning or alteration. To collectors, these natural characteristics are not flaws, they are treasures, proof that the coin has lived through decades of history. The rarity of the 1957 with D wheat penny doesn't come from low mintage. Tens of millions were made. Instead, it comes from the survival of unique condition coins. Most circulated examples are worn down, their details faded beyond recognition. But when you find one in circulated condition that still holds beauty, with strong details and naturally toned surfaces, it stands apart. That uniqueness is exactly what collectors chase and what drives values into the stratosphere in today's auctions. And speaking of value, here comes the faithful truth that will leave you breathless. The 1957 wheat penny with D mint mark, circulated condition with brown spotting and a beautiful look, is currently valued at $125,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. $125,000 for a penny that most people would dismiss as pocket change. But it is no pocket change. It is a big treasure hidden in the palm of your hand. This is not a story. This is not exaggeration. This is reality in the numismatic world right now. And let me assure you, the market value of this coin is increasing day by day. Every auction sets new records. Every collector's battle drives the price higher. This coin is not just a treasure today, it is a treasure that grows in value, a wealth machine disguised as a humble penny. Here's a collector's tip. When hunting for 1957 with D-wheat pennies, don't just focus on mint state examples. Sometimes circulated coins with natural toning, attractive spots, and honest wear command stronger desirability. Collectors love originality, and a coin with a beautiful natural look often outshines a cleaned or altered example. Always choose authenticity over artificial shine. In conclusion, the 1957 with D-wheat penny is not just a coin. It is a symbol of the end of an era, the last breath of the iconic wheat cent design, and a living treasure whose beauty and rarity can turn a simple penny into 6 figures of pure value. Holding this coin is holding history, wealth, and a legacy that will only grow more powerful with time. And remember, friends, we are only halfway through this journey. We still have 3 more coins to reveal, each one carrying its own shock, its own suspense, and its own jaw-dropping fortune. Stay with me, because what's coming next is even more unbelievable. Coin number 5. As we move from the copper wheat pennies into the world of quarters, we unlock a whole new level of treasure hunting. And standing tall at the gateway is the 1965 Washington quarter without mint mark, a coin that tells one of the most important stories in all of American coinage. The year 1965 was a turning point. For decades, quarters were made of 90% silver, carrying not just spending power, but intrinsic metal value. But in 1965, everything changed. Due to rising silver prices and economic challenges, the U.S. Mint transitioned the quarter away from silver to a copper-nickel-clad composition. This change forever altered the landscape of American coins. The 1965 quarter marks the exact moment of transformation, the very first clad quarter, the birth of the modern era of circulating coinage. Street at the Philadelphia Mint, this quarter carries no mint mark, which in itself makes it distinct. The obverse shows George Washington's proud portrait, facing left, with the word liberty above and the motto, "In God we trust," engraved with power. On the reverse, the bold eagle perches with wings spread wide, a symbol of American strength and freedom. To the average person, it's 1 quarter. But to the collector, the 1965 issue is history crystallized in metal. Now, what makes this particular coin unique? The example we're talking about today is in fine condition, meaning it's circulated, lived through the pockets and purses of everyday Americans, yet still carries clear details. Its age shows in the honest wear on Washington's hair, but the strength of the eagle's wings and the clarity of the inscriptions make it beautiful in its own right. Collectors don't just see a coin, they see a survivor, a witness to the great transition from silver to clad coinage. And here's where the rarity kicks in. The 1965 Washington quarter was minted in huge numbers, but finding ones that are collectible, preserved with dignity, and surviving decades in fine condition without excessive damage is far rarer than people imagine. More than that, certain 1965 quarters even carry striking anomalies or transitional errors, which only fuels demand for every well-preserved piece from this historic year. Now let's talk about its current market firepower. The 1965 Washington quarter, without mint mark, in fine condition, is commanding a value of $125,500 in today's auction market. Yes, you heard me, over $125,000 for a quarter most people would have dismissed as ordinary change. But friends, this is not fiction. This is reality. This is the faithful truth of coin collecting. To hold this coin is to hold a big treasure in your hand, a fortune wrapped inside a $quarter piece. And what's even more thrilling, its market value is not static. It's increasing day by day. Each auction brings more attention, more bidding wars, more fire, and higher prices. For collectors, this is the coin that keeps on giving, a treasure chest that grows richer with time. Here's a tip for collectors. When searching for 1965 quarters, look closely at the edges. Authentic clad quarters from this year show the copper core on the side, while transitional errors from leftover silver planchets are even rarer and worth a king's ransom. But even in standard composition, coins in solid collectible condition like this one are skyrocketing in value. Always check carefully. You never know when you might be holding a small coin with a giant fortune inside it. In conclusion, the 1965 Washington quarter dollar without mint mark is more than just the first clad quarter. It is a milestone in American coin history, a survivor of the great silver-to-clad transition, and a treasure whose value has reached six figures in today's booming auction market. If you own one, you are holding a coin that is nothing less than a piece of history and a treasure of wealth. And friends, this is only coin number 5. We still have 2 more powerful, ultra-rare treasures ahead that will shake your imagination and prove once again why coin collecting is not just a hobby, it's a pathway to treasure. Stay with me, because the next coin will leave you stunned. Coin number 6. As we step closer to the final chapters of today's treasure journey, we land on a coin that at first might appear modern, even ordinary. But as with all true treasures, appearances can be deceiving. The 1979 Washington quarter dollar with D mint mark is a coin that many would pass over without a second thought. Yet in the world of collectors and auctions, it has proven itself to be a 6-figure marvel, a coin that transforms from everyday change into pure wealth. The year 1979 was a fascinating time in America. The nation was navigating through inflation, political shifts, and cultural transformation. And in the middle of all that, the U.S., mint in Denver, Colorado struck the 1979 with D Washington quarters. These coins were clad in copper and nickel, no longer silver as in earlier decades, but carrying the proud design of George Washington on the obverse and the powerful eagle on the reverse. By 1979, the Washington quarter had already cemented itself as a cornerstone of U.S. coinage. Now let's talk about the unique character of this coin. The one before us today is in circulated condition. That means it has lived life. It has passed through hands, stores, purses, vending machines, and change jars. It carries the light wear and honest marks of history, yet it still holds its details. Washington's face remains proud. The eagle's wings still stretch boldly across the reverse. And while it's circulated, its survival in attractive form makes it a highly desirable piece for collectors who love authenticity. Here's what makes it rare. The 1979 with D quarters were minted in large numbers, but most are still considered ordinary. Very few have been recognized for their collectible uniqueness, whether due to striking varieties, minting quirks, or simply their preservation in a world that largely overlooked them. And when one surfaces in the auction world as a standout example, it drives collectors into bidding wars. And this is where the shock sets in. The 1979 Washington quarter dollar with D mint mark in circulated condition is currently valued at $113,000 in today's auction markets. Yes, over $113,000 for a quarter that once bought gum or soda. Friends, this is not exaggeration. This is the faithful truth of the modern coin market. This coin has ascended beyond circulated change to become a big treasure in disguise, a piece of copper-nickel that transforms into a fortune. And let me tell you, the price is not done climbing. The market for quarters, especially rare condition pieces from the later decades, is exploding. Each day, new collectors join the hunt, prices rise higher, and demand grows fiercer. This coin is a wealth builder, a treasure that continues to increase in value day by day. Here's a collector's tip. When looking for 1979 with D. Washington quarters, pay close attention to details around the lettering and eagle feathers. Strong strikes and appealing surfaces in circulated coins can still carry immense desirability. And always check for unique errors, double strikes, off-centers, or filled mint marks, because even the smallest anomaly can skyrocket a coin's value into unbelievable territory. In conclusion, the 1979 with D. Washington quarter may look like an everyday coin, but in reality, it is a six-figure treasure hiding in plain sight. It represents the truth of coin collecting. Even modern coins, even circulated pieces, can transform into powerful investments and treasures of history. Owning one of these is not just a joy, it is holding a key to wealth and legacy in your own hand. And remember, friends, this is only coin number 6. We are now standing at the edge of the grand finale. The last coin in today's treasure hunt is waiting. And trust me, you do not want to miss the explosive value and story that comes with it. Stay with me until the very end. Coin number 7. And now, my friends, we arrive at the final treasure of today's incredible journey. After moving through the legendary wheat pennies of the 1940s and 1950s, and after discovering the groundbreaking Washington quarters of the 1960s and 1970s, it is time to unveil the last coin on our list. This is the 1983 Washington quarter dollar, struck at the Denver Mint, carrying the powerful D Mint mark with natural brown spotting, a beautiful fine condition, and a story that will shock you to your core. At first glance, this coin may look like something you've seen 1,000 times before. A quarter dollar, with George Washington's portrait on the front and the proud eagle spreading its wings on the back. A coin you may have held in your pocket, or one you might have tossed on the counter at the gas station. But here's the truth, friends. This particular coin is no ordinary quarter. In fact, it is one of the most valuable treasures of modern American coinage, a piece of metal that has transformed from 25 cents into a fortune worth tens of thousands of dollars. Let's step back to the year 1983. America was in the midst of change. The economy was adjusting after the shocks of the 1970s. Technology was beginning to enter homes in ways never seen before. The U.S. Mint was producing Washington quarters in copper-nickel-clad composition, no longer silver, but still carrying a weight of history and tradition. The Washington quarter had been introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, and since then, it had become one of the most recognizable coins in American life. By 1983, the design was familiar, but its significance had not diminished. The obverse carried Washington's noble profile, the word liberty standing tall above, the national motto, "In God We Trust," inscribed firmly, and the date 1983 reminding us of the era it was born into. On the reverse, the eagle stood proud, wings stretched wide, arrows of defense in its claws, an olive branch of peace by its side, a perfect representation of America's balance of strength and peace. This particular coin bears the D Mint mark, signifying it was struck at the Denver Mint, a facility famous for its precision and for producing coins that travel far and wide across the nation. Now, what makes this 1983 quarter unique among millions? The answer lies in its natural brown spots, which give the coin a distinctive appearance. While some might see these marks as imperfections, in the world of collectors, they tell a story. They show natural aging, authentic history, and a uniqueness that sets one coin apart from another. Combine this with its fine condition, where Washington's face, the inscriptions, and the eagle's details are still clearly visible, and you have a coin that radiates character, history, and authenticity. Unlike a polished coin stripped of its originality, this quarter stands proudly as a true survivor of circulation, bearing the marks of time while still holding its power. Here is where things get truly exciting. The 1983 quarters were struck in large numbers. Yes, but finding examples that collectors actually prize is far rarer than people realize. Why? Because in 1983, the U.S. Mint did not release official mint sets for collectors. That means high-quality, preserved coins from that year are incredibly scarce. The majority of 1983 quarters were released straight into circulation, and most were worn down, scratched, or destroyed by the time collectors began hunting them seriously. That scarcity has made the 1983 quarter, especially those with unique features, strong strikes, or attractive looks, a hot target in today's auction market. Collectors fight fiercely for them because they know that owning a fine example of a 1983 quarter is like owning a piece of history that almost slipped away from everyone's grasp. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the value of this treasure. The 1983 Washington quarter dollar with D-Mint mark, with brown spots, in fine condition, is commanding a current market value of $90,000. Yes, my friends, $90,000. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration. This is the truth of the auction world today. This coin, born in 1983 as a simple quarter dollar, has become nothing less than a big treasure, a fortune in your pocket, a jewel of numismatics that can make you rich overnight. And what's even more thrilling is that this value is not fixed. It is climbing higher, day by day, month by month, as more collectors join the hunt and as the truth of its rarity becomes more widely known. The market for rare quarters is exploding, and this coin is one of the shining stars of that explosion. For collectors, here's my faithful advice. Always check your 1983 quarters carefully. Look for the D-Mint mark. Look for coins that still hold detail, even in circulated condition. And don't dismiss coins with natural toning or brown spotting, because uniqueness is what separates a $1 coin from a $90,000 treasure. The most ordinary-looking coin can sometimes be the most extraordinary find. Collectors should also stay alert for transitional errors, doubled dies, and strong strikes from this year, because each of these features can send a coin's value skyrocketing. And never forget, coins from 1983 are always in demand, precisely because they were not preserved in large numbers when they were first minted. So here we are, friends, the final coin of our journey today. The 1983 Washington quarter with D-Mint mark may appear humble, but in truth, it is a king among treasures. It carries history in its design, rarity in its survival, uniqueness in its natural look, and power in its incredible value. To own one of these is to hold not just money, it is to hold legacy, wealth, and history all at once. And let me remind you, this is not fiction. This is not a story. This is the faithful truth of the coin market, proven in today's auctions, where coins like this reach staggering prices. The value is real, and it is growing every day. That brings us to the end of our 7-coin treasure hunt, and what a journey it has been. From the wheat pennies of the 1940s to the Washington quarters of the 1980s, we have uncovered coins worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, coins that prove that treasures are still out there, waiting in plain sight. This is why my channel, Secrets of US Coins, exists, to bring you the freshest, most faithful, most exciting updates every single day about the world of rare coins. Because here we believe in the truth of treasure, and we share it with you in full honesty and excitement. So make sure you stay connected, subscribe, like, and share, because tomorrow I'll be back with even more treasures that will blow your mind. Until then, keep your eyes sharp, your hands steady, and your heart open, because the next coin you hold might just be the key to a fortune.